Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name's Steve Webb, and I'm the CEO of the Global Institute for Food Security. First, I'd like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak during Canola Week. I think it's important to provide a bit of background to the invitation to be the kickoff speaker for the week. The request was the result of an interview published in the Western Producer earlier this year, where I referenced data from the 2018 Global Innovation Index that was first shared with me by Dr. Stuart Smythe at the University of Saskatchewan. The data showed here in Canada, we're lagging our peers in terms of innovation outcomes and efficiency, not on the investment side, but rather the return on the investment, our outcomes and impact in the marketplace. And the irony is not lost on me about speaking about the opportunity to improve our innovation outcomes at Canola Week. Without question, canola is arguably one of our country's most significant agricultural and food innovations in living memory. But on a whole, Canada's performance is underachieving with a less than impressive track record. The most recent data from the World Intellectual Property Organization's 2021 Global Innovation Index shows that Canada now ranks 8th in terms of inputs and investments. So lower numbers are better. We're spending more, but we've actually slipped a spot to 23rd in the world over the same period. So again, our innovation outcomes are even less efficient than before. Innovation success is measured in terms of patents, licenses, new company startups and commercialization, job creation, and new products and services that are in the marketplace. Although the global index looks at all industries, ag and food is no different than any of the other industries. In fact, one could argue it's even more challenging to innovate in the agriculture and food ecosystem. Our ecosystem tends to be dispersed, operates in silos or semi-independently. The players in the ecosystem also, throughout the ecosystem, both up and down, have no clear line of sight from the invention to innovation, or AKA path to impact process. This is an opportunity for all of us. A little bit about the Global Institute for Food Security. We were established in 2012 as a public-private model. Our founding partners, Nutrien, the province of Saskatchewan, and the University of Saskatchewan. In May 2020, our board approved our new strategic plan, which has a new vision and a new mission. Our vision inspires us, a world where everyone has access to safe and nutritious food, and our mission drives us. We work with partners to discover, develop, and deliver innovative solutions for the production of globally sustainable food. At the Global Institute for Food Security, we see an opportunity where Canada moves from being inefficient in terms of innovation outcomes, but to be ranking very high on the innovation outcomes and impact in the marketplace. We see Canada as the global leader in ag and food technology. We see the ecosystem in Canada, the agriculture and agri-food stakeholders working interdependently to deliver innovative solutions for globally sustainable food security. And from a GIFS perspective, we see this as helping advancing closer to our vision of a world where everyone has access to safe food. Our purpose at GIFS is to catalyze and accelerate invention to innovation in the ag and food sector. There's a recognition at the federal and provincial levels that ag and food is important to Canada's economy, to recovery from the COVID pandemic. It's important for feeding a growing world and to helping meet Canada's climate change goals, and addressing the innovation gap is absolutely key. There's no doubt in my mind that agriculture is part of the solution to climate change, to advancing food security, and delivering a more economical, environmental, and socially sustainable future. At GIFS, we know we can't do this on our own, and we see GIFS being an innovator, a connector, and catalyst that delivers successful outcomes. We know innovation is a team sport, and no more so than in the ag and food sector. We see GIFS as a connector and collaborator, as a catalyst for the ag and food ecosystem. At GIFS, we help advance innovation by combining our expertise and specialized facilities and equipment to drive innovation with a focus on the big issues facing ag and food, such as climate change, nutrition, carbon sequestration. We help bridge commercialization. Our technology and expertise works up and down the innovation pipeline, from the lab bench all the way to products that are in the hands of consumers today. We serve as a connection bridge with our globally respected expertise and connections We provide valuable links to enhance trade, improve research, and business relationships. And probably our leading example of this is our relationship with the Bangladesh Ministry of Agriculture, which originally started as a research training opportunity, which has grown and expanded into partnerships that are focused also on enhancing bilateral trade relationships between our two countries. The second area of focus at the Global Institute for Food Security to enhance Canada's innovation outcomes is to focus on the ecosystem. And one of the ways that we're doing it, one of the ways that we've engaged this process at the Global Institute for Food Security is to provide all of our scientists and staff, but also our partners, training on the line of sight from lab bench to the dinner table and everything in between, the path to impact. Slide 8 is a cartoon of that innovation pipeline. And you can see that we excel in the early stages at universities and academia with knowledge creation and invention. And our industry is world-class in delivering solutions to customers and consumers. But where we have a gap is the development side. And that's the area that GIFS wants to focus on. And one of the things that we're working on to ensure that we have that line of sight to impact is working to have licenses in place to key enabling technologies that we use at the Global Institute for Food Security that we can pass on through product candidates to our partners and collaborators. That's how we can avoid rework from the excellent science and invention taking place at universities and academic labs to the marketplace. Although slide 8 was an illustration of the generic innovation pipeline, the ag and food sector is even more challenging and complex than other industry sectors, such as the technology sector and even the pharmaceutical and biopharma industries. Complexity is driven by structural differences in terms of the business. Technology and the pharmaceutical businesses have used incubators and accelerators to help bridge the gap, that development gap between invention and innovation. For ag and food technology, accelerators and incubators are insufficient. The structural differences in the industry, such as the higher levels of funding required given the timeline, for example, to advance through some of the technology readiness levels, you need 2 years of field studies. And here in Saskatchewan, we all know you can't do 2 years of field studies in 1 year. There's really no pre-competitive space in the ag and food industry versus the biopharma industry. Regulatory bottlenecks and public acceptance issues are relevant right at the very beginning of the innovation process. And because we tend to not focus on those right at the start, they lead to impacts late stage, which delay product launches and acceptance. There is also a need in terms of ag and food tech to be less focused on during the early stages on the pure technology play. Things like scale up, cost of goods and manufacturing, the regulatory and public acceptance all play major roles right in the very earliest stages of the innovation pipeline in the ag and food tech space. Value chain and the de-risking of technology is well defined based on path to impact. There's well understood valuation jumps from TRL3 to TRL4 in the pharma business, but not so for ag and food tech. Because of these structural differences in the industry, it makes it difficult for startup companies, academic organizations, and industry to bridge the gap. Different support systems are required. Because of the specific challenges within ag and food innovation, we need more than accelerators and incubators. Combinations of skills, capability, infrastructure, and expertise, not just funding, are required. GIFS is helping catalyze innovation by building and sustaining support systems around the development of ag and food tech. We're helping advance ag and food from discovery to development to delivery, and examples of where GIFS is working with others, such as the Global Agri-Food Advancement Partnership. We're a member together with AgWest Bio, Innovation Place, and the Food Center. And the recent public announcement of funding from PrairiesCan is illustrative of the recognition of the need for specialized capabilities to advance ag and food technologies from the lab bench to the marketplace. The third area of focus that GIFS to help accelerate and bridge the innovation gap is to build scale. And through our strategic plan, we're building out technology platforms that add scale, increase impact, and synergy within the ecosystem. We're focused on our capability, competency, and capacity through our platforms to support current and future partners and collaborators. One of the things that we know, all of our partners and collaborators have their own projects, and we see GIFS as being that catalyst and supporter in our platforms, helping add scale, our people adding competency and capacity to help our partners advance their projects down the innovation pipeline. I'd like to highlight two of the 5 platforms that we are building out at the Global Institute for Food Security. The first is our Omics and Precision Agricultural Lab, or Opal. It's a state-of-the-art facility that combines genomics, phenomics, and bioinformatics and services Canada's ag and food sectors. It's a one-stop shop for the complete analysis of microbial, plant, and animal samples. And we work with industry here in Canada, the United States, and even from the European Union, as well as public and private research institutions, again, across Canada and through the United States. It's a partnership between the National Research Council of Canada, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, and the University of Saskatchewan. And it's operationalized by the Global Institute for Food Security. The second platform that I'd highlight today is our engineering biology platform. It's our newest platform. And engineering biology is expected to have a $2 to $4 trillion impact globally in the next 10 to 20 years. The engineering biology platform, or ag biomanufacturing platform, that we're building here at the Global Institute for Food Security will be our ag and food node within Canada's emerging engineering biology network. When we think about the engineering biology platform, it's as easy as ABC. It couples automation and engineering with biology, with computational tools such as machine learning and artificial intelligence to accelerate the learning cycle for the production of proteins, peptides, and metabolites, all for ag and food applications. This platform that we're building at the Global Institute for Food Security complements our ecosystem. And for example, the most recent announcement of the precision fermentation capability being built out at the Foods Development Center here in Saskatoon. Our engineering biology platform represents the very front end of what would then feed into the capability being built at the Food Development Center. So in conclusion, here in Canada, and particularly right here in Western Canada, we have all the pieces to be the world's ag and food innovation engine. Here in Saskatchewan, we have 40% of the arable land. The infrastructure that we have in Canada is world-class. We have the public sector and private sector, both governments, universities, industry, large multinationals, as well as a vibrant and growing startup community. We can win. The Global Institute for Food Security is open for business and committed to our purpose of advancing the business of agriculture in a socially and environmentally responsible manner. Come partner with us to make Canada the most efficient ag innovation system in the world. Thank you.